Hello, everyone. PEI Pen Guy here, and it's December 2025. And around this time of year, I sort of, like many people on YouTube, I start thinking about my year-end wrap-up. And, well, I didn't actually buy that many pens this year. I was very frugal, I guess I could say. And I was also sort of at that point where I'm like, do I have enough pens? Do I have enough stationery? I probably don't have enough stationery. And with the course of events over this year, I just thought I'll try to behave and not buy anything I don't really need. But I did buy a couple pens, but they didn't make my top five of anything really. They were interesting. I enjoyed them. So what I'm going to do actually is do a top five of the pens that I most enjoyed this year. And most of these are older pens. I've had them for several years. You've probably, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say you probably have seen my videos on them, but I've done reviews on them, and let's look at them. Let's see what did I most enjoy this year? And it's my top five. But oddly enough, there are six pens. And the reason and I'll go with the sixth pen first. So my endless notes pen case here. I'm not going to show you what's in it, but I'm just going to casually haul out the first pen. I'll do this. So the pen I use most is a Twsbi Echo. It's not necessarily in my top five this year. So it's the sixth pen. And I use this one the most. And I love this pen. It's a great pen. It's a workhorse pen. I've had it for several years now. Never had a problem with it. And I always keep it inked with platinum carbon black. When I'm writing a receipt or something like that, I use this pen. When I'm signing the back of a piece of artwork that I've done, I use this pen. For whatever reason, I've chosen this one as the workhorse of the house, and it sits on my desk, and it gets banged around a bit, and I use it every day, and I really like it, and it's held up exceptionally well, and it has platinum carbon black in it, but it's not what I would call my favorite pen this year. And I guess what I mean by that is I've been sort of out of love in some ways with pens for a little while there. I just the the state of the world, I guess, kind of weighed on me a bit there for a while. But lately I've been picking them up again and really enjoying them, cleaning them, playing with them, drawing, painting, writing a bit more. So I've been quite enjoying them again. So yes. And this is the pen that I've used all the time this year, even when I wasn't necessarily using the other ones. But it's not in my top five. And I'm going to just say that I probably easily could have said this is my favorite pen, but it's the workhorse. Okay? And it has platinum carbon black in it. Now, I really like platinum carbon black. It's very durable. It doesn't seem to fade. If it gets wet if water gets on it after it's been on the page for a little while, it doesn't run, doesn't bleed, and it's very well behaved. And it's great for what I use it for. And I don't mind using this pen with a receipt book. I just use a receipt book if I do a framing job for someone. It's a carbon receipt book, so the paper's pretty thin, and this works really well. But it's not necessarily in my top five, but I just thought I'd show that to you. I'm just going to reach in and grab a pen, and I'm going to figure out which is my favorite. So, of course, If you have a top 5 and you own a Pelikan, you're probably going to put it in your top 5. Oddly enough, it's a pen that I don't use all the time, but I do use it a lot, and it's a beautiful pen. And I guess the reason I don't use it all the time is I'm never quite comfortable putting it in my pocket and going somewhere with it. It's I would be really sad if I lost it. So it usually stays in a pen case at home. I use it for journaling and certain things, but I really, really like this pen. I think the body of the pen. It's just a classic pen, and I particularly like the the black, blue, and silver trim on this pen. It's a piston filler. It's a medium gold nib, palladium plated, I would say it is. It's 14 karat gold nib, medium, and Pelikan, of course. It's probably one of the most famous German brands. There are some really spectacular German pens, and this is one of them. So the Pelikan Souverain, and this is the M405, I should say, and the ink in it is golden lapis, which is a Pelikan Pelikan ink. And the funny thing about it, I really like the ink, but I don't shake it because there's a lot of sheening particles in it, and I just like the blue. I don't shake the bottle. I just use the blue ink. I just stick the pen in there and I pull up I don't put it all the way to the bottom, but I just like that color. But I don't necessarily want the silver shimmer of the ink. So maybe that's a weird thing. I don't know. Maybe other people are doing that. Yeah, and the golden lapis was the ink of the year, the year, 2 years ago. So I'm pretty sure it was 2 years ago, 2023. And I got this at the Pelikan Hub that year. Beautiful ink. I'm always sort of worried that an expensive pen with a shimmering ink is going to get damaged, so I don't use it. But yeah, it's a beautiful pen. And of course, but I was lucky enough to get one that had the translucent stripes, the blue and the black. So nowadays, I think they're all the blue and the black are all opaque, so you really can't see the ink in it. But I was lucky enough to get it in the last year before they changed to the new model. So you have the blue stripes, and then the black lines are slightly transparent, so you can see the ink in the barrel, which is a really nice touch. It's a lovely pen to write with. This is a small, the M405 is a small pen, but I don't have large hands, and for me, it's very comfortable. I have recently tried out a couple other Pelikans that belong to friends, the larger versions, the 800 and the 1000, and yes, they are spectacular, but for me, I'm happy with this pen, and I don't think I'll be getting any more Pelikans. They're a little bit out of my price range at the moment. I shouldn't say that. If I got a vintage one that was at a right price, yes, I would probably pick up another Pelikan. Pelikans are spectacular. What else do I have in here? Oh, yes. Here's a Twsbi that made it into my top 5. The Twsbi Mini. Once again, I've had this pen for quite a while. I use it a lot. It is a pen I don't mind putting in my pocket and taking with me. Twsbi makes solid working pens. I've not had any issues with cracking on the body or the barrels. I've had no issues with cracking. I like the fact that this is a demonstrator. You can see the ink within the barrel of the pen. And what I have in here is, what do I have in here? I have a Twsbi Vac Mini, and the ink I put in it was the Pilot Arashizuku Tsukiyo, and I really like this ink. And yeah, what I like about this pen is sometimes when I'm writing in my journal, then I'm thinking, and this is actually true of all the pens that are on my top 5. Sometimes I just sit there and roll the pen in my fingers and look at it, and I love seeing the ink sloshing away in there, and it's a great writer. So yeah, so the Twsbi Vac Mini. Yeah, so it has the Arashizuku. Tsukiyo. Very lovely ink. For a very lovely pen. What else do we got? What else do we got in here? Oh yeah. This, once again, is a pen I've had for a few years. And it's the Pilot Custom 74. Soft medium nib on this pen. Japanese pens. Absolutely wonderful. Pilot, inexpensive, expensive, beautiful pens. And this is one of my favorite pens. Once again, as a pen that I am not necessarily using all the time, and I am a little reluctant to put it in my pocket and go carry it around with me once again, because I'd be sad to lose it, But it's a beautiful pen to write with. And I really like the soft medium nib. The Pilot. I'm doing something weird here. I'm changing up my scripts. lettering script. Why did I start that? I don't know. The ink I have in this is, what do I have in this? I think it is the Monteverde. It's right here somewhere. Ocean Noir. And I quite like that ink. Yeah, so it's resin body, medium, soft medium nib, 14 karat. I'm going to say gold trim. It's a nice size pen. I posted it, and it fits my hand very nicely. Very comfortable in the hand. Very nice pen. Yeah. Sometimes I think I should get another one in a different color. But you know what? I really, really am a sucker for a black and gold pen. Black and silver pen too. But a black and gold pen is, in my opinion, the classic fountain pen. Even more so than the Pelikan here with the blue stripes. Black and gold. You can't go wrong. Every time. So the next pen is actually a very inexpensive pen. More inexpensive than the ones I've shown you. And that includes a Vac Mini. Mostly because I got it on eBay several years ago. And it was from a brand that I was never quite sure of. And I still wonder what they're up to. And the pen in question is this here Cross Solo. Now this is a classic looking fountain pen. I love the burgundy body, the little black features on the top and the bottom of the pen, gold trim, And what really sets this pen apart, it's made in Japan. And the nib on it, from what I've learned, is made, or what I've heard and people have suggested, and some of the reading I've done online and hunting around, as far as I can tell, even though it's not really marked, the nib was made by Namiki, Japan. And what a great little pen. And I had this pen sitting aside for a little while. I wasn't doing a lot with my pens. And I figured after, 3 months of sitting unused, an inexpensive pen, it would not write. And it did right off the bat. And I was very, very impressed. So yeah, it's the Cross Solo. And what I have to say about it is, I believe these pens ranged in the range around, well, the Cross Solo ranged in the $20-$30 range. I'm not too sure how much this one would have cost originally with a Namiki nib, but I think it's a steel nib with a gold plating on it. There's nothing really that suggests that it's a 14 karat or anything like that, but it is a beautiful writer. And I was really impressed, actually. Actually, I'm going with script again, or text again. I was really impressed by the fact that it sat unused for as long as it did, and there was no air leakage, or the cap was able to keep the nib wet, and it wrote right off the bat. And that, yeah, I was really surprised. And if I can say one thing to the company Cross, bring back the Solo, bring back the Solo with Namiki nibs, and you would be selling a lot of these, I think, especially at a lower price, because it's really nice to have an inexpensive fountain pen that's a beautiful writer. And the ink I have in this is diamine writer's blood. And it matches the body of the pen, and it matches the mood of the pen, and it flows very beautifully out of the pen. And lovely pen. What's the last pen I have? Oh yeah, another gold and black one. This is, of course, the Diplomat Excellence A2. And I've had this for a couple years. Now I have the Diplomat Aero, and I have the Diplomat Magnum. And the Diplomat Aero is a lot more interesting looking in some ways. I have the black and silver striped Diplomat Aero. But once again, black and gold. I love a black and gold pen. I think this one, why do I like it so much? When you hold it in your hand, it's a very heavy pen, and it has this beautiful finish on it, aluminum body, very, very smooth and lovely to hold. And it's really nicely balanced. And so once again, it's a Yowo nib in these. And whoever tunes these nibs for Diplomat, that really does a fine job, And it just looks, it's kind of I'm thinking here. So it's kind of an example of looking at a pen when you're writing with it and just thinking how classy it looks, how nice it feels, and the weight of the pen. And it has a fine nib on this one, and it's just lovely to write with. And once again, this one actually, after sitting unused for a little while, wrote right off the bat, and that was very nice. It just looks good. It's a big enough pen that I don't necessarily always have to post it. And it's actually quite large in some ways when it's posted, a little bit back heavy. So actually, this is one of those pens that I don't post that much. And most of my pens I do post. So that's kind of interesting. And the ink I have in it is, what do I have? Oh yeah, I have a Private Reserve. Private Reserve avocado. Yeah, avocado. Avocado in it. And with, it's a beautiful dark green. Works lovely with this pen. Looks nice with the pen. Beautiful. Now then, considering that that's the pen I use the most, and these are my 5 favorite of this year, 2025. And I'm not going to say that's my favorite pen. I'm not going to say that's my favorite pen. But of these 5, what would I say is my favorite pen of 2025? And I kind of thought about it, and I was like, what is the favorite pen? What do I look for in a pen? And I have to say, it's probably this little Cross Solo. For whatever reason, it's just a vintage pen, but it's a lovely writer, and it's a lovely pen to look at. I really like that sort of vintage burgundy and gold. That burgundy color was heavily in use in the 60s and 70s with certain brands, and you see it quite often. Sometimes when I'm hunting on eBay, I'll come across a lot of different pens in burgundy and gold, and it's sort of I guess maybe, as someone said, it's probably has something to do with school colors. Burgundy appears in so many university and colleges in their coloring, and high schools too. So maybe that's one of the reasons the burgundy and gold is so popular. It's a good gift, I guess. Anyway, there you have it. My favorite pens in 2025. What am I hoping for in 2026? I am hoping to once again not buy a whole lot of pens, to use them more. I'm hoping to find an inexpensive fountain pen that completely surprises me, takes my breath away. I wonder if such a thing exists. I keep looking at the bookmark, and I love looking at what they have in stock, and there are a few there that are on my list of possible pens that I might purchase in the next little while. I hope to try more stationery. I wouldn't mind getting another another pen case. The Endless pen case here that I have holds 5 pens, and it's a beautiful little case. Leather, it feels great. Maybe this is the year I get a Galen's leather. I don't know. I haven't gotten one yet. I might get another Twsbi. I haven't purchased a Twsbi in a while. I have 3, 4. I have 3 Twsbis at the moment. I had 4, but I sold one, and I really like them. They're great pens. Anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite pen is of the year. What of these 5, or let's say these 6, what would be your favorite? Are you like me and thinking that maybe you have too many pens? Are you like me and you're trying to be well-behaved and frugal and just looking for a really great little pen that's not too expensive but will surprise you? What kind of inks are you hoping to buy? What kind of stationery? What kind of pen cases? Yeah, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, and I'm hoping that you have a good 2026. It's hard to imagine that it's 2026 coming up. Anyway, winter here. Soon it'll be Christmas, and then soon it'll be soon it'll be the solstice. Soon it will be Christmas. Soon it will be New Year's. And of all those three, I'm looking forward to the solstice more because I love the day when it stops getting darker and I love the day when it starts getting brighter, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.